pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball. Brad Lynch does it again and stays perfect for the 2008 season. 48 for 48 in save opportunities, and let the city celebrate.
Aloha and hello out there, everybody. What's going on? This is Miho with the Too Close to Call cast, and this series is everything you need for your Phillies need. It is the Philly Fanatics podcast. I'm joined always by my co-host Pags, and he is coming in hot with the Phils takes today.
The Phils are rocking. They're the only team I care about in Philadelphia right now. So they are the most important.
It is May 13th, and it is officially baseball season in Philadelphia.
Yes, it is, and it is great to see our old Titans sitting there on top of the NL East. It is a good feeling to have, and it's a good thing to take us through the summer until Eagles come back.
Oh, my goodness. Well, thank God we don't overreact to Phillies series the way we do with Sixers series, because Friday stood pat to the pattern, Pags, and the Phillies dropped game one of the series.
How many game ones have they lost this year?
They won the first one, I'd say, the way it's been going, 2.
It's looking like 3. They won the first 2 series. They won the Nationals and they won the Braves, and then I think they won one against the Marlins. It's unbelievable. They just do not play well in travel day or opening of a series.
That's been the pattern. However, they've been able to bounce back and take 2 out of 3 ultimately in this series, and once again, that rang true with... Let's start out on Friday's game. Jake Arrieta took the loss. The Phillies bats just don't show up once again. Arrieta, 5 innings, 4 runs, wasn't really effective. Our boy Garcia with a nasty slider had a solid inning. Ramos, Alvarez, and Neris combined to shut them out the rest of the way. Neris gave up an unearned run in the 9th inning. But overall, man, I guess what was your take on Friday's game? 4 hits again for the Phils, who only muster up 1 run.
It was tough. I mean, Bryce went 1 for 1 with 3 walks, so it's good to see Bryce out there taking pitches. And
it's amazing they're still not pitching to this guy, even though he's hitting 237.
JT 1 for 3. It was just a bad showing, a very potent lineup, and
well, it was one bad game by Rhys Hoskins, because if you look at him, I think this was the game where he had a couple of strikeouts and. A few of them came right after walks to Harper, because you're like, okay, guy on first, Rhys, I'm feeling good, and he just was not seeing the ball well on Friday.
Yeah, what does that do to like a pitcher like Jake Arrieta, who doesn't have the worst game but not the greatest game, and you just can't get any runs? I know Hamels back in the day, it used to happen to him all the time. What does that do as a psyche of a pitcher? Like, hey, I'm pitching well, I gave up a couple runs, I'm just not getting the win because these motherfuckers can't hit.
Well, the problem for him, I don't think that really took into effect this Friday, because he was burnt by the long ball is what happened.
Yeah.
You know, Gordon got him twice in this game. He got him in the first. The Phillies kind of bounced back. So it was a 2-1 game going to the bottom of the 5th inning. And at that point, you're right there. Your run swing away. You know, you just give up a solo shot at 5th, a solo shot in the 6th, and then you're out with, 6 innings, 5 innings, 4 runs, and there's your ball game. So his problem was just leaving the ball up in the zone, and we both know Arrieta is a ground ball pitcher, and when teams are elevating off of him, it's going to be a long night for Jake.
And then we go to Saturday, and my pick for breakout Phillies pitcher.
No, when did you pick him for breakout?
When you gave me Velasquez, Pavetta, and Efflin, I said Efflin.
Check the tapes.
My boy shoves again, becomes the first MLB pitcher this year to throw 2 complete games, goes in there, throws a complete game shutout, no walks, 7 Ks, 9 innings, fucking see ya, Royals.
It's been amazing what he's been able to do as he continues to improve coming off the knee surgery. Last year, being his first year back, he added 2 to 3 miles an hour on his fastball, and at that point, you become a completely different pitcher, because he was no longer a two-seam sinker ground ball guy. He's a four-seam power strikeout pitcher, which you alluded to with the 7 strikeouts in 9 innings. And as he continues to learn to pitch up in the zone, work off his breaking ball on that newfound 94, 95, man, he may stumble into a top end of the rotation starter here as his confidence keeps growing and growing.
Yeah, no doubt. I love seeing him out there pitching, playing well, and everybody on the Phils except for Andrew Knapp gets a hit.
Oh, Andrew. Can we get rid of this guy yet, please?
He stinks, but he has been the pitcher for Efflin when he gets his wins. I think he's like 3 out of his 5 wins. Andrew Knapp was the one calling the pitches.
Well, he's getting lucky then because he may backdoor himself into a job if he turns into Efflin's personal catcher and Efflin keeps on shoving.
Yeah, no doubt. Will they do that?
Absolutely.
I know Real Muto got the day off and was a DH that game.
With a starter as strong as Real Muto who can give you 4 out of every 5 days, depending on the schedule, that's something that, Knapp's only going to play once or twice a week. So if it's Efflin's start and maybe one other time every 2 weeks, that'll keep you employed even if you are hitting a $161.
Hey, and the Phils, they get a 7-0 win against the Royals. I know the Royals stink, but feel good going into Sunday, going to take the series win yet again for the Phils.
Sunday gave us a little bit of a surprise. Earlier this week, Vince Velasquez was put on the injured list with a little bit of forearm inflammation. Whatever the hell that means. That means he's not going to be in the rotation maybe ever again. That's what that means.
No doubt.
But we touched on names such as Pivetta, and I know we mentioned Cole Irvin, and the feedback for him is he's not a prospect. He's 88 to 91, a little bit of a cutter, kind of a changeup, not going to thrill you, but he just seems to be that guy that picks up his lunch pail in the morning and goes to work. What were your thoughts on your first experience watching Cole Irvin throw at the big league level?
Well, first off, I throw the game on. Good for him. His mother flies out to Kansas City, gets to see her little baby get her first start. But I was thrown off because I'm like, wait a second. That's a lefty pitcher. We don't have any of those.
Hey, is he allowed to use that arm to throw the ball? What's going on here?
Yeah, this doesn't seem right. Is Gabe comfortable right now that we have a left-handed pitcher?
He's freaking out.
Gives up a run early, gives up a single to Gordon. Obviously, they get a run. And then in the 5th inning, the Phil's offense comes to play, and that's the only inning they came to play because they got 6 runs in the 5th.
Yeah, they finally decided, hey, guys, we have to score to win this game. We might as well just do it all in one inning, and it was back-to-back, and we had a Segura single, a Hoskins walk, a Real Muto double, a Herrera single. I don't know, man. This offense just over the course of 9 innings to score in 1 inning again. We were staring at another long one until the Royals pitchers just couldn't help themselves and get out of their own way.
It's not great to see the inconsistency. Again, Segura's the only one batting 300. I mean, Hernandez is right there, but you like to think that it is a cold day out in Kansas City, so you like to think that once this thing comes around that this offense is going to figure it out because we're going to need it because there is a hell of a death row coming our way on the schedule.
I was just going to mention about Cole Irvin. We're going to learn a little bit more about him, not going against the 14-27 Royals, but in his next start. And depending on the outcome of that one, maybe his one after that as they get into, I think it's a little bit of the NL Central coming up, Pags. Who do they have here this next couple of weeks?
So let me rifle through the next 5 series. I know we're going to cover them, but just kind of give you an overview of what we're about to see. We got a 4-game stint with the Brewers at home. We got the Rockies over the weekend. I will be in attendance on Saturday. Then we're going out to Chicago for a 4-game series with the Cubs, another series against the Brewers in Milwaukee, home against the Cardinals, and then flying across the country to play the Dodgers for a 3-game series. So those are some tough games right there.
Man, like I mentioned, I don't see any sweeps in there. Hopefully they can just continue their...
Lose game 1 and win 2.
Oh, my gosh, right? Like 2 out of 3, 3 out of 4, but... We're going to be able to learn a little bit more about the Phillies, and hopefully they can stay healthy and get a few arms back as they go through this race, because I believe it's also another 17 games in 17 days, and we're 3 into that long trek. So it's going to be another long one where the mental toughness is going to be challenged to this Phillies team.
For sure, and no divisional games there, but coming up after this long stretch here, we got a lot of divisional games on the pipe, so we've got to get some of these wins because these are teams you're going to be competing with for home field or for a wild card spot. So these games are all important coming up here.
What do you think of the MLB kind of taking a page from the NFL and scheduling 1 month from like the middle of June to the middle of July of nothing but divisional games?
I kind of hate it. I fucking hate when the NFL does that. It's like, oh, 3 of the last 4 games, Eagles? Yeah, divisional games. Yeah, they do it because at the end of the year they want it to mean something, but spread them out. Don't fucking throw, because if you have a bad stretch there where somebody's hurt, you could pretty much play yourself out of the fucking division race.
Absolutely, man. You can't win the division from June to July, but I think somebody's going to lose it within that month for sure.
You would think. Luckily we're building up a little cushion here, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be a real tough stretch here for the Phils, and I'm excited to see Christian Yelich today against the Phils. We know they're going to lose this game because they always do. So
that's it. Don't even need to tune in. Game 1, that's an L.
Yeah, I think it's Dollar Dog Night tomorrow, so you know they're going to play that day because it's going to be packed.
That's it, man. Like you mentioned, we got the Brewers coming up for 4, so we will talk to you guys this Thursday or Friday, I believe it is. As always, this is Miho and Pags with Too Close to Call, your Phillies Fanatic podcast for all your Phillies needs. Do us a favor, right when you get done listening to this in the next 30 seconds, scroll down on your iPhone, hit the 5 stars, give us a review. We've come to learn that that's a big deal, and that continues to help us expand everything and grow the brand and the business. So we appreciate it if you guys would do that for us, help us out. But as always, we're thankful you guys are listening, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Guys do that, maybe we can get over to Citizens Bank and maybe do some live interviews with some of you fans out there. So help us spread the word, guys. Get it out to your Phillies fans out there everywhere, and we appreciate it. We'll talk to you after the Brewers series. Later.
Peace.
The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, struck him out. The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball. Brad Lynch does it again and stays perfect for the 2008 season. 48 for 48 in save opportunities, and let the city celebrate.